worked with Milton for many years. What I loved about working with Milton was he kind of prepared actors so that you're a little bit director-proof in a way, because you learn to be your own director. He talked a lot about what would you do in this situation? So you say, okay, well, I would get up, and he'd say, okay, now what would you really do in this situation?
Oh, yeah.
And that was always the way he would get you to second-guess your first kind of superficial choice.
Beverly's Playhouse is basically where I started. I marked joining class here as officially entering the game of doing this as a career.
The reason I joined it in the first place is I really liked that they focus on acting, attitude, and administration, and I'd never found an acting class that really addressed the business.
But more importantly, I came to the Playhouse and I learned how to act. It was really the place under the teaching staff that I learned basically how to get to a point where no matter who I am acting with, no matter who it is, I can hold my own.
I did book 6 Feet Under while I was in here. And I think what Milton really has helped me with, and I know, is my attitude towards myself, because I stood in my way a lot. I got in my way a lot, and he just taught me how to get out of my way.
I had teachers that really started like getting me to loosen up in my emotional side, and definitely later, and lost a lot of those as my characters started getting more rounded out. They gave them a lot more tragedy to deal with and stuff like that, and I just from like being here and another training and getting to break that loose in this environment is what kind of allowed me to have it, I think, when I needed it on the set.
He's taught me everything about it, everything about acting, everything about dealing in our showbiz world, and I will be eternally grateful to him. Everything I do is because of Milton. Milton Katselas at the Beverly Hills Playhouse. It is the best, the most extraordinary teacher in the world, I think, and I've had quite a few.
Actors are always very concerned about being not so much criticized, observed maybe in a non-supportive way. One of the nice things about Milton's class, of course, is that Milton always makes sure that the atmosphere is such that it supports the work and supports you in doing the work.
I wouldn't have a career if it weren't for the Beverly Hills Playhouse and Milton Katselas. I had a casting problem. I wanted to be Joan Crawford, Marilyn Monroe, Loretta Young, and he broke me and made me realize that I was a proletariat, salt of the earth, very different than my high ideas. And no sooner had I gotten that casting lesson and done a scene, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, playing Flo, then I booked Rain Man. And that changed everything for me.
Working on these real blue-collar guys, but tough, very tough, and really learning what that's about. The less you do, the more it can be. And just by doing scenes in class, it taught me a lot about that. And along with that persistence, I went up for a role for the SHEILD. And what turned out was originally a small part, but through my persistence, turned into a series part, a 11-episode arc.
Classes that exist in the Playhouse are a safe place. I don't want to use the word fail, because there isn't really failure, but a safe place to test who you are, what your gift is, and how to organize it and accomplish it. Because that's a mystery even to people who are very talented sometimes, because it is a job.